Join us as we sit down with remarkable individuals from various walks of life who faced their fair share of obstacles and emerged with positivity. Each episode, you'll hear inspiring stories, actionable tips, and wisdom that can supercharge your own journey when using adversity as motivation. Let's learn together. Welcome to Lauer Power.
Welcome, friends, to another edition of Lauer Power. This is the podcast where we use adversity as motivation. My name is Chad Evans alongside Chad Lauer. Great to be with you. Dave Tamkus joining us as well. Good to see you, Dave.
How's it going, guys?
Very, very good. Before we get started, we want to let everybody know that you should subscribe, like, share, whatever you got to do to keep the Lauer Power movement in a positivity influence for the city of Shamokin today as we talk about why not Shamokin. Right, Chatty boy?
Yes, sir, man. Great to be back with you. And, I think this is a follow-up episode to our original Why Not Shamokin episode. It's really funny because I helped Dave put up our second billboard.
This is exciting.
And
this is a great day. Second billboard.
When I say I helped Dave, I pretty much held the ladder. He had like screws in his mouth, washers in his hands and his pockets, and I literally just stood there with the ladder as he's like climbing it, drilling stuff in, and neighbors are asking if we need help. But it was a great experience, and somehow Dave got the billboard up. I have no clue how. Dave, tell us about it. Tell us about your drive. I mean, you drove from Bloomsburg. Tell us about the whole day.
We got the Coroplast printed over at Press Enterprise in Bloomsburg, and they emailed and said it was ready to pick up. So I went over in my truck, which only has like a 5-foot bed, and I had a plan that I was going to roll them up and strap them down, and they said, no, that's not going to work. So I went to the lumber yard and bought 2 sheets of plywood to kind of make a ramp out the back of my truck, and I drove from Bloomsburg to Shamokin with 7 feet of wooden box hanging out over my tailgate.
Yeah,
I was white knuckling it for a while, but I made it. And then Chad met me there at the billboard location, and I think when he got there, I already had most of the bottom part hung, and Chad jumped right in there. So
got his hands dirty.
Yeah, whatever you need me to do.
He got his hands dirty.
Besides climbing the ladder, don't make me climb the ladder.
That's all I told him. I wasn't climbing the ladder because it was high, man. I mean, it was a harder project than we thought. In all
it
was.
Right? I mean, the billboard's 12 foot tall by 12 foot wide, and it was probably 4 feet off the ground. So you're looking at like 16 feet or so. Fortunately, someone across the street yelled, "Hey, do you need another ladder? I have one over here." So we ran across traffic, grabbed the ladder. And it actually was the key to getting the whole thing hung, because we used that to kind of catch the top piece and pin it down, and we're able to get it all screwed in there. I was soaked through my shirt, my shorts. Couldn't wait to get home to the air conditioning and a nice glass of water. But hey, it's up and it looks good.
And Dave is more handy than I ever expected. Like, we were joking before about, being handy. Like, he's handy. He really can, do things.
Yeah, he's crafty.
He really is. I mean, I was really impressed. I'm not going to lie, Dave. Listen, I mean, most people who buy billboards, like we bought one from Lamar, they come out and hang it for you.
Really nice. They did a great job.
Who puts up their own billboard?
Dave Tamkus.
I mean, literally.
with Why Not Shamokin?
Literally. And listen, I need to shout out somebody, and he hates to be shouted out. He wants to do everything behind the scenes, but Mike McLaughlin literally gave us the space for the billboard. He said, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing. I love the positivity. Why don't you use my billboard?" So, I mean, he literally let us use his space right off of Route 61 and heading into Sunbury Street there right as you enter town. So, Mike, I know you don't like the shout outs, but I'm shouting you out.
Well, we're going to shout you out, Mike. Straight from the mountaintops. Straight from the coal banks.
That's right, buddy. That's right. So, yeah, guys, and listen, we have gotten feedback like we're doing something special. We are not any different than anybody else, okay? We are literally marketers, and we're marketing positivity, and we're marketing taking care of each other, and we're marketing looking out for each other and doing something at your property, making it look a little better, hang a flower, paint it if you can, take care of your place so our city looks and feels, like a place we're proud of.
Yeah.
Right?
And we encourage people to be positive in the city of Shamokin. So what we are going to do is going to be really fun. We're going to figure out the logistics on how to do this. But our friends listening in the city of Shamokin and surrounding areas, this is what we're going to do. Ready?
I'm ready.
Put it on your calendar.
Drum roll.
Okay. Thursday, July 11th, from 11 to 1. Myself, Chad Lauer, Dave Tamkus. We're going to be downtown Shamokin on Independence Street. Illumination Station? Is that where we want to be?
Yeah, that's where we're going to be. Yeah.
That's a good place to be.
Yep.
I'm going to bring my Blackstone. I'm going to get a fresh thing of propane, throw it onto Blackstone, throw it in the back of the truck, take it down to Shamokin. Free hot dogs and free water from 11 to 1 on Thursday, July 11th in downtown Shamokin. What do you think?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Can we bring some music too?
I might know a guy that can help out with that. Sure.
I thought you might.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. We didn't talk to the city about this. But look, let's do something positive for the city of Shamokin. And this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, come get a hot dog.
Come get a hot dog, some water, and I'm also going to invite anybody else that wants to come along with us. Why not?
Listen, and here's why I'm excited. When we were at Fermano's, my favorite part of the day wasn't you and I up on stage. It was actually the 30 minutes afterwards where we were shaking hands with the people and listening to their stories and their ideas.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what I'm most excited for July 11th. Like, we're sitting here where people are watching our podcast. I mean, we can see the data, right? Mm-hmm. The views are going bananas. We can see the geography. We're getting, like, I get literally messages every day. I just shared some with you guys. But now let's get out and have like an event in person and really shake hands and feel the momentum. So, Chad, that was your idea. I'm going to, let everybody know that's Chad's idea, and I'm fully supporting it. So I'm really looking forward to July 11th.
Okay, who's bringing the ketchup and mustard?
I got it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop by Irish Isles and get a whole bunch of hot dogs and a whole bunch of buns and grill them up for our friends in Shamokin. That'd be fun. That's fun. Let's do that.
Very excited.
Okay. We're going to do it. Thursday, July 11th from 11 to 1. Come on down and have lunch on us with the Why Not Shamokin team. Meet us and ask us, so what's this all thing about the Why Not Shamokin thing doing? And we're going to tell you. We're just breeding positivity in the coal region.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, listen, we have a few business ideas too. I've had a few meetings recently where people are like, what are you planning on doing there, pal?
Hey, listen, and we're not going to... Look, you got some ideas. Tamkus got some ideas. We got some positivity running. And this is people reaching out to us.
Yeah.
For this stuff.
Yeah. And...
right?
Yeah. And listen, the number one thing we need to do is we need more people. Like, we just need people.
Yeah, money doesn't hurt. we also need money.
Yeah, and people.
And people.
Yeah.
People and money.
Yep.
And we get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff. Hey, when's the fireworks?
I believe the 6th of July. Saturday the 6th of July.
Okay.
At dusk, usually.
Yep. Independence on Independence, is that happening?
I believe it is happening. And Covered Bridge has the street blocked off and a big shindig going on there, too.
Yeah. Hey, so if we do hot dogs from 11 to 1 on Thursday, Cover Bridge, they open up at what, 4?
I think so.
Maybe we take the show on the road and do a podcast episode down in Shamokin.
Dude, that would be fun.
What about that?
I'm in. Can we get Cover Bridge to approve it?
Eric will approve it.
Okay.
And if not, Cindy will.
Yeah, Cindy will. I don't know. It's something. We'll work that out.
Okay.
But that would be a lot of fun.
I'm in.
Okay. What else? What else do people want?
Yeah. So here's the other thing. as far as, we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about business, we're talking about the town. The podcast is about using adversity as motivation. And I've had a lot of messages recently, and I'm not going to name names, but also let's just be kind to each other. I mean, it sounds crazy, but just literally, I see these signs like be kind, whatever. That just needs to be part of our everyday process. Okay. So if you watch the news, it's going to tell you all the bad stuff that's happening in town, right? We're here to tell you the good stuff, right? Look out for each other. So number one is check on your neighbor. Dave, your kids make fun of you because you wave to everybody, right?
I do. Yeah, they do.
So tell us what you do. So you tell us about what happens.
He's a nice guy.
I'm the same way, right? So tell me what happened. So you're at your house and you just wave to everyone.
Yeah, we're driving home and I see neighbors out in the porch and I wave to them. And they're like, when was the last time you talked to that person? And I'm like, I don't know, but they waved and I waved. And why not wave to everybody? It's just nicer to wave at people.
Totally agree, man. So I get made fun of too. I just give the old wave, maybe sometimes it might be just the short wave. Sometimes
I give the old shooter. Go bang.
Yeah, the shooter. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. The hoe-butt nod.
My guy, hoe-butt.
Yeah,
yes,
hoe-butt.
Sir.
Acknowledge each other, right?
Right.
Listen, hang a flower, right? Literally, hang a flower. If you see a piece of garbage, pick it up, right? If you have a little bucket of paint something. Make it a little brighter, right? I mean, seriously, like these things are just you have a decision every day. Every day you have a decision, and it's either stay stagnant, get worse, which happens, or get better, right? And I'm just here to say, how do we get better? One, we wave to each other. Literally. Sounds so stinking simple, Take care of your porch. Encourage your neighbor to do the same.
Mow your grass.
Check on each other. Yeah. So listen, we can just talk about it. So people are getting upset about the weeds and stuff like that, or the ordinances now that are public. And, they're there for a reason. So, Dave, go ahead. I know you want to talk about it.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and the city of Shamokin started publicly posting an ordinance of the week. And I think it came from the Blight Committee. And catching a lot of flack online. And I'll be honest, I've lived in Shamokin for a long time. I knew there were ordinances around certain things, but I didn't know the specifics of any of them. And it is helpful. And the one thing that I observed, and can you tie it to that specifically? I don't know. But I did notice some weeds getting cut that haven't been cut in 3 years. So one little thing like that is, going a long way to making people aware and making the city a little bit nicer.
Can we take a weed whacker and just start whacking some weeds?
All right, let's take it easy.
All right,
let's start with the hot dogs, and then we'll mow people's grass. I mean, we got lives, we got things to do.
I don't. That's why I'm here. But
well, let's get you a weed whacker.
Yeah, I actually bought an electric weed whacker.
And good for you.
Yeah, listen, you guys know I'm not very handy. So here's what happened. I have a backpack blower, and and that's battery operated.
Yeah.
And I have a battery operated weed whacker, and I was getting really mad because I would go and I'd use my backpack blower and I'd be blowing things, and then the battery would die, and then I'd have to stop. Right. Then you plug the battery in and it has to charge. And then you have to wait until it's charged to go work. And I was getting really, really mad. And then finally somebody said to me, buy another battery. And then you just take it off when that one dies. And you don't have to stop working. And I was like, never thought about it. And now it's the coolest thing ever.
Now you're 24/7 whacking your weeds.
Dude, I mean, I can work whenever I want now, So anyway, anybody who's anti battery operated power tools, just get an extra battery.
I wish you would have told me that story before you were holding the ladder for me.
I'd have a better chance of seeing Bigfoot out at the AOA park than I would see Lauer weed whacking.
No, dude, I weed whack.
You weed whack?
I do weed whack, yeah.
I will tell you this one fun story about when we were doing the billboard. At one point, Chad was up a couple rungs in the ladder and he goes, I don't like being on a ladder. And I go, can I tell you something, Chad? And he goes, well, I said, I don't like being on ladders either.
Yeah, but you got through your fear at Clark's Feed Mill, right?
Yeah, I painted Clark's Feed Mill, repainted their logo on their building, and I had to rent a 50-foot lift. And
Cool.
I was telling Chad the first time I went up to wash the wall, I was like, I just want to take this back and be done with it, not go back. And he goes, did you stop? I go, oh, well, no, I forced myself to finish it. And then I went back a couple weeks later and finished the other one off. And now, I'm still cautious for heights, but I'm not scared like I was before.
Yeah, I'm still not comfortable on the ladder. I mean, I respect those guys. I'll be honest, in all seriousness. So I go to Philadelphia a lot still. And they're always building like skyscraper buildings.
There's always things.
And there are always guys on the top of those things working. Mm-hmm. And like, I can't even look up at them because they look like specks. I tell Hillary all the time, and my wife, I'm like, I can't even look. I can't look at them up there. It creeps me out. Are you afraid of heights, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm not a roller coaster guy.
No.
I might have to go on a roller coaster tonight with my daughters because Daddy can't be a sissy. So I'm going to have to do that. But I'm not a fan of heights. But we are reaching new heights in the city of Shamokin, so we're not afraid of doing that.
No, I agree.
You wanted to touch base. I mean, we have a lot to talk about this city of Shamokin and creating the positivity and all that fun stuff. But you wanted to touch a little bit about mental health, right? You want to talk about mental awareness and...
I do, and that's really the leadership topic of the day is, battling through mental health and checking on each other and things like that. So I'm going to get serious for a second, but we missed Mental Health Awareness Month, and we've had a lot of people when I speak about those messages who've listened to the podcast and learned about how to use adversity as motivation. They've reached out to me and talked about mental health. So I'll tell a personal story. So when I was originally diagnosed with cancer in this would have been like 2011, they decided that they didn't want to do surgery until the tumors reached 3 centimeters. So they call it watch and wait. And the reason why they do it is if there's another tumor that shows up in the meantime, they will be able to get multiple in one surgery. So from 2011, they said, we're going to wait until the tumors reach 3 centimeters because we've rarely seen metastasis if we get it out under 4 centimeters. So to be cautious, we're going to leave the tumor in there. And so now I know I have a cancerous tumor in my body, and I just have to continue to live like it's not there, right? And I tell people this all the time because the surgery and the pain and the recovery and all that stuff, like that didn't bother me as much. But I had my first panic attack after that. Now, I don't know anybody listening if you've had panic attacks, but they are the worst thing. Like when I've been dealing with health, like I would have like debilitating panic attacks to where like I didn't want to go out. Like I would be so scared to like go out to dinner, like it was just bananas. So I had to work through that, and it really made me realize that, some people use substances to kind of deal with their mental health. Maybe that's why they drink beer, or maybe that's why they do drugs, or maybe that's why they do whatever. But I went through therapy. I was on, medicine for it. And I was eventually able to get back to living a normal life, but it was freaking scary.
But you had to work through the process to get there.
Have either of you had panic attacks? It's okay if not.
I don't know if I did or not. I don't think.
So anyway, anybody who's listening that's had it's just crazy. Like I had to go to the ER. I thought I was having a heart attack. So anyway, after months of kind of dealing with that, I was able to kind of get back to being able to function normally, but it was scary. And I want people listening to realize that like that's mental health, right? There's so many different mental health disorders. And a few years ago when I started on, if you haven't listened to the first episode of the podcast, I started a chemo drug called Weloreg, and it drops your hemoglobin to like 9. Most men are like 15, 16. So my red blood cells were, very low and I would get dizzy. So because I was getting dizzy, I was like, I'm going to pass out. So if it was hot out or if I was like, on my feet too long or whatever, I would then start getting panic attacks. So I'm like, I'm going to hit the deck. Who's here? Who's going to save me here? Right. So again, just very, very tough to deal with. So I'm telling the folks listening that we realize that mental health is a real thing. I'm actually wearing my CMSU community support walk shirt here for a reason. But yeah, listen, we all deal with tough stuff. I want people to realize that at Lauer Power, a lot of folks will deal with some sort of mental health in their life, and there's tons of help out there. Okay. So you don't need to turn to street drugs or any of those other things to try to deal with it. Let's connect you with professionals that can help you through it. If you have to get on medication or whatever, somebody that's going to help monitor that and get you the support that you need. Because if it wasn't for my family and for, my support group and my work, my team at work, I might have been, in a really rough spot. So just wanted to do that. Our leadership topic of the day was being aware of mental health and the challenges that it causes. And again, it's all just about checking on each other, being able to, have an open mind that somebody might be dealing with stuff, in their lives that makes their day-to-day a little bit more difficult than others.
I think step one is not being afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, I'm okay. And I think a lot of people are afraid to ask for help.
So have you seen those billboards that have said it's okay to not be okay? Have you ever seen those?
Yeah, sure.
That's the message we need to send, right? And listen, we got to take care of each other. A lot of drug use and a lot of alcoholism and a lot of struggles are there from mental health disorders. And some people, I think, just aren't aware of that. And I'm here to say, listen, I've dealt with it myself, right? So, again, I think we all have to kind of look out for each other and be aware of it.
Well, you certainly looked out for me with this 17-gallon bucket of cold coffee. Got to get that cold coffee.
By the way, listen, the new Dunkin' Donuts in Shamokin, I mean, it's very nice.
I've only been through the drive-thru. I haven't been inside. It's
very nice. I'm not going to lie to you. And I know there's a couple other places opening up in town, but I've been there and it's good.
Okay.
Edit.
So listen.
I'll delete that.
So here's the deal. So let's wrap it up by saying this. That Thursday, July 11th from 11 to 1, we're going to be doing free hot dogs at Illumination Station on Independence Street, and we'll have water. Come on down, say hi, and grab some food on us.
And that's July 11th, 2024. So if you're listening after that, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that is just not going to happen. But all three of us schmucks are going to be down there.
Yeah, and let's talk about why, right? It's just all about, it's about just doing something. Like Coach Marcinek, who was on our, he was on our podcast before, and he coached me at Susquehanna. He used to say to us, like in the weight room, we would have like 7 a.m. workouts, sometimes early. He'd be like, half the battle is showing up.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
Just half the battle is showing up. Once you're there, once you're at work, once you're at the gym, once you're, looking out for your friends, like the rest is easy. It's just getting there, And I think that's your idea is like, hey, we're going to be here in person, in flesh. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do something.
Well, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but that Tom Brady quote that went viral just last week, and I'll paraphrase because I don't know the exact words, but he basically said the same thing. It's not about being great at anything. It's about consistency and showing up consistently.
It's funny. I think I was, who's the famous like martial arts guy?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I think it was another one, like Bruce Lee.
That was quick.
Bruce Lee.
He's great at trivia.
But like, he's like, if you kick like 1,000 times for one day, right, and then never kick again, or if you kick like a couple times a day for like 1,000 straight days, you're going to be so much better after doing it every day, even though you took the same amount of kicks, right? It's the consistency. that matters. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing consistency in our efforts, in our messaging, in our positivity. And I think that hopefully will catch on to others to do the same.
Well, we're kicking it to a new level. That's what we're going to do, Lauer.
Dude, I'm in.
We know.
We also have a couple other big announcements coming up. So might have a couple business ventures and also a few guests here coming up.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that, Chad.
Yeah. So we got Megan Beck, County Commissioner. She's going to be joining us in the next couple episodes. Mr. David Porzy from the AOAA, the man who stole our mountain, will be on the podcast. And then Shane.
Manny.
Yeah, Shane Manny's going to be joining us on the podcast. So we have some guests coming up. That's going to be a lot of fun. And feel free to reach out to us and tell your story. And maybe you could be a guest on the Lauer Power podcast, because I think that would be a lot of fun too. So we want to certainly open up a chair for you, put you on camera, and tell your story and maybe ways that you feel can benefit the city of Shamokin.
25 minutes, 26 minutes of a great podcast, brother. Can't wait to do the next one.
Looking forward to doing it again.
That's right, buddy. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for having me back.
Thanks, Chad.
Are you a business owner, a leader, or an aspiring achiever looking to turn life's challenges into powerful fuel for your success? You've come to the right place. Get ready to unlock the secrets to turning life's hardships into your most powerful ally. Your hosts, along with our incredible guests, will help you tap into your own Lauer power and guide you towards the success you've always dreamed of.